안녕하세요.
And
Me and Ed have something in common, which is we're both married to lovely Korean women. So today what we want to talk about is actually spouse visas in the UK. The reason I want to talk about it personally is because I think it's really unfair. It should not be as difficult as it is. And I didn't know until just before we got married. Because normal people fall in love and then they figure everything else out afterwards. Especially, you know, if you're in an international relationship. You're probably saying things like, which country should we live in? Like, I'm sure we can figure it out. Let's do your country for a bit and then our country, you know.
yeah.
But you never think about whether you're actually allowed to go to that country. It really took me by surprise. You've recently come to the UK.
Yeah.
How was that?
Thinking back to when I proposed to Nicole, I wanted to propose on the beach, you know, be all romantic. And then literally like a few days before I was going to buy the ring and everything, Boris was on the TV and he says,
"You must stay at home."
like lockdown, like couldn't do anything. So I had to like quickly rush out, get a ring. I had this speech that I was going to say to her parents to ask for marriage. And I had to like rush learning that. And it was like really tough. Rocky start. So yeah, it's pretty amazing to be here now and like live together in England. I feel really lucky.
Were you stuck in the UK then?
I was about to leave at the time. A week before.
Yeah. She had to go back to Korea and we didn't see each other for a year after that.
Wow.
It's quite a roller coaster.
Oh man. And probably so much uncertainty about when you can see each other again.
Yeah. I was obviously living in the UK.
Yeah.
And Nicole had to be in Korea.
Yeah.
So we had to like work this process out across the world.
That is like the first hurdle, which is you have to apply from outside the UK and you don't want to have to separate to do this application process.
If we could just like sit down together and like go through documents, that would make it a lot easier.
What was probably the number one like challenge in the visa process? Like,
if you ask me and Nicole, it
might be different. Sure.
She had to do like an English test.
Yeah.
Her English is very good. I had no doubt that she would do well. But it was quite daunting to have to do that test. For me, maybe not like any particular process. I think it was just the emotional side of it, right? Like you're going to pay a lot of money. There's a lot of time involved in getting the documents together. You don't know whether it's 100% going to work, you know?
Yeah.
It's that uncertainty and the emotional side of it. Did you find that?
yeah, the thing that's really challenging about the whole process is just how cutthroat it feels. You get one thing wrong and you risk everything.
Yeah.
Your lives together. If you don't include that one document,
Yeah.
you're not getting it. And then you start to read through the list of things that, you know, are required and you're like, some of these things are crazy. We had to get someone to check our accommodation in the UK. So you have to prove that you are going to live somewhere in the UK.
Okay, yeah. So
And
I
have
forgot about this.
someone come and check the premises and make sure it's okay. And which happened to be for us, it was my parents' house. This guy came and he inspected my parents' house and got them to install like window breaking hammers. You know, just because my wife wants to come to the UK. It's just
Wow,
like,
that's crazy.
from the beginning of our relationship until now, we had to like show evidence of photos and messages and conversations. It felt like my wife was a criminal and I had to like exonerate her. I had to like prove as a lawyer that I must prove that she's innocent and she's worthy of coming to the UK.
The house thing, I forgot about that part of the process. And for me, it was extra like awkward because I was living in shared accommodation at the time. And I knew by the time Nicole came over, I knew we'd be living somewhere else. So that was a worry because at the time I didn't really have stable accommodation. Not because I couldn't afford it, it's just because I was going to move, you know?
For my financials, I had to get my bank statements, like they had to be stamped on mine with a date. So this poor woman in the bank, his 6 months worth of bank statements, I need you to stamp every page.
Wow.
We were there with a huge queue behind me, you know? Just like, but the biggest thing about the financial requirement is the threshold. You have to be earning a certain amount of money. When I applied was £18,600. When we first wanted to apply to come to the UK, we were living in Korea. I was an English teacher, which is, you know, fairly respectable, but it wasn't enough. That wasn't enough to hit the threshold to come to the UK. It was like, oh, we want to go, but we can't.
Yeah.
Like we just can't.
Yeah.
And also, it doesn't matter what my wife's earning. That's just not counted. It's about what I, as the British citizen, is earning.
Really?
Yeah.
I think when we applied, I think they allowed like a total.
Both. Oh, really?
Maybe I misunderstood.
Maybe.
At the time, my salary was enough to cover it.
I had to have enough income in Korea.
Okay.
But I also needed a job lined up in the UK
Ah,
for the same or more, which is really hard to do, again, without separating, which
Yeah.
we don't want to do as newlyweds.
yeah.
You know, so most people end up doing that. They separate. Thanks. Sorry, am I talking too much? Is that what you're saying?
It's just so hard to watch. There's food.
There's food
you
and
can't
Norwegian.
eat.
Don't leave food in front of Koreans. 많이 먹어요.
We ended up actually going to Ireland. Ireland is part of the EU, and their policy is super simple.
Okay.
Anyone who's working in the EU has a right to bring their family members. That's it.
Nice.
Nice. After 3.5 years, we did qualify to hit the income threshold. So we had enough, we could apply now. It wasn't easy. We got it expedited, so like fast tracked, which cost £800, normally processed within 2 weeks. But
I'm sensing it did.
yeah,
So go on then. How long did it take?
yeah. So we were stuck in Ireland for 3 months.
Wow. You kind of hope they refund that 800.
I know. We went all in. So we sent our entire possessions to the UK ahead of us because we were going to the UK, right?
Yeah, allow the intention.
Yeah. So it didn't happen in 2 weeks. Then there was just like, how long? We had no idea how long. So we were jobless, homeless. Emily was pregnant. We had a baby. It was just like,
Yeah, sounds more
stressful as you can
stressful
get,
than
yeah.
us. Like, I mean, ours wasn't stress-free, but
Yeah.
it sounds a bit, yeah.
that's something to say about the process as well. A little bit of customer service would go a long way.
Oh, yeah. We were completely left in the dark.
Oh, sorry, I'm stuck on this question. What does it mean when it says there's nothing?
No. We basically applied and didn't hear until we got the result.
Exactly.
That was it.
How did you get your result?
I got a
guess.
message from Visa Center.
Oh, okay. Well, that's all right. That's nice to get a
Yeah.
message. So after 3 months, we got this like battered up little package, and
Okay.
inside we found Umi's passport. No message, no well done, congratulations or anything. And so we were just like, what is this? Is it rejected? You know. But we looked through it and we found a visa. But you're like, what is
Literally
that?
no
Like,
message.
just a little.
Wow.
Like, would it be that hard?
Yeah.
Congratulations, your application's accepted. Welcome to the country. You know.
At least a virtual hug. That's nothing.
Exactly.
For us, we didn't pay for the fast track, but it said like a certain time they were going to get back to us. But got to that mark, nothing to say, it's still in process.
Yeah.
And then I think it was like several weeks after, we still had nothing. At that point, we were a bit stressed. I think it was almost double what they said it was going to take.
But Nicole was still in Korea.
Yeah, I was in.
So you were separated longer than you wanted to.
Yeah. Definitely wasn't ideal.
You hadn't stopped your job or you packed up all your...
No, I think you had.
Yeah,
So
I didn't work for a long time.
Right.
and they didn't think about this. It was tough.
It's so unwelcoming.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree.
You've just got married and you're trying to introduce someone to your country. You're trying to show them the best of it. And you just you hit this hurdle of,
barriers.
don't come to our country, we don't want you. Okay, well, the income threshold when I was applying was 18,600. They've recently raised that to 38,700. That's where it's ending up in 2025. It's just outrageous.
Yeah. That's probably more than UK average, right? I don't really understand it because I feel like, a lot of the process is about, can you support each other? Can you live together without having to rely on the country's help? And I think there's a lot of people who can get by without needing that kind of money, right?
Yeah. It's sad. I wouldn't have been able to come. I wouldn't be here now with that threshold in place. That doesn't sit well with me.
No.
And I understand there are reasons for it. The UK is a very desirable country to come to, even within Europe.
Yeah.
I still don't think families should be punished for that. And then the other thing is a lot of people abuse the visa route. So fake marriages.
I feel like that's why it's only valid for like 2.5 years or so.
Right, yeah.
Which
To test how
I'm
long.
not really looking forward to having to like renew it, you know, like there's more money and another process. Hopefully it's a bit more straightforward.
It's worth maybe just saying that once you actually get into the UK, that is just the start. You then have to do the whole application again every 2.5 years, twice more. Go through all the stress and the uncertainty of like,
Yeah,
am I going to be deported every 2.5 years?
I'll take note.
Yeah, sorry, you haven't done it yet.
For the visa process, did you process it all yourself or did you have like an agency to help?
We just didn't have enough money to pay for the
it's fair.
application
Yeah,
and everything involved.
Yeah.
I felt like I had to become a solicitor.
Yeah.
Did you guys?
Yeah, so we didn't originally. I was maybe a bit against it at the start. The process is there online. Like, I'll just do it. Like, why do I need an agency? I just thought, just answer the questions and you'll be fine. And then it kind of dawned on me that I'm investing so much money, so much time, and we like 100% need it to work. When we went through the process with the agency, it seemed like they were asking for like every little detail. I had my grandparents' address as like my stable location. They needed like the council tax, a written declaration from them, the passports from my grandparents, like everything. But like this is too much. But maybe in hindsight it was good because I was being a bit too hasty with it.
One of the questions was like, do you have any family living in Korea? And he's like, yes, my family, my sister, my brothers.
Yeah.
And it's like, great, can you write all their addresses? Okay, well, that's not too bad. And then it was like, have you got any friends in Korea? Can you write all their addresses?
No way.
I'm like, what do I do? Just pretend I've got one friend and write one address? Like, that's not a bad question. It's a fine question. In the context of everything being really important, you worry.
Yeah.
You're like, are they going to send someone to Korea to check the addresses of my wife's friends?
Knowing we went through an agency, it felt like it was going to be a little bit more certain. For you, if you processed it all yourself, it must have been like a real tough.
It was scary, yeah. But I was on forums a lot, checking everything, and the rules were changing all the time, and that makes it really stressful.
Yeah, you're proof that you can do it yourself. I think that's the positive thing to take from it. If you're really good with the details, it is definitely possible. But if you do have the money, using a trusted agency with experience probably takes the stress out a lot.
And it's probably worth saying that this applies to everyone now because of Brexit. Your wife is from France. It's the same process.
Yeah. I forgot. Korea feels quite foreign.
Yeah.
France doesn't really feel foreign. Like,
if all the countries in the world did this, no one would be able to live anywhere.
do you know much about the threshold for going the opposite way? Because
What's Korea?
yeah, but maybe they have opportunities to explore going the other way.
I think often there is an option somewhere else. Even for us, Ireland was easy. Korea was really easy. This was a long time ago, but it was almost like a day, like filling out one form, and we went to the place.
This is so typical
and they just
Korea.
stamped it. Yeah, and it was just like done. It's like, welcome to the country. Well, yeah, we did have the money, but it was no check. Someone just sent us money. Sorry, I shouldn't say this on camera, but someone may have gifted us money, which we then gifted back. How much was it?
3,400만 원 있었어야 되는 것 같은데.
Really? Who gifted us that? Okay, so I didn't know anything and I felt like it was really easy, but actually Umi did it all. So without that, we couldn't have gone into the country.
Oh, wow.
Okay. Well,
So I guess, in hindsight, compared to people nowadays, like I guess we've been lucky.
yeah, really.
We didn't feel lucky at the time.
Yeah, that's true. It's those people I'm worried about the most. It's just like, basically, I'm seeing us when we started.
Yeah.
There's people in that situation, I'm like,
Yeah, I feel
so
feel for
sad.
them.
excited,
Yeah.
in love.
Yeah.
We should be welcoming everyone from other countries. I'm not really sure how to wrap it up. I need me because she's like, leave a comment in the description. Tell us about your experiences now.
Natural.
I hope this conversation was interesting.
And if you're applying, I hope it works out.
If we
both
managed
worked out.
If we can do it, you can do it.
No.
Yeah, we probably talked enough, so let's, We'll have some food now.
I'm interested about this, actually.